How's it going? I'm in here in my new studio that I'm working on in North Nashville, getting everything moved in, setting it up to destroy it. This episode, we talked with Mike Hranica of the Devil Wears Prada. Had a good time. Got in, never met each other, just started riffing, you know. We talked about where he's from, talked about his coffee company called Dogma, talked about Donald Trump, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely had some thoughts on that and some things to say. We talked about toxic masculinity. We talked about his creative process, of course. And, you know, we got a little jiggy and we laughed. Do you laugh? Do you like laughing? So these paintings are for sale as always, and they go to help our show and maintain the quality that you see. Very quality. So if you're interested in buying either of these paintings, hit us up, makeitperfectshow@gmail.com, or on Instagram, makeitperfectshow, or my email is ryanrado@gmail. Luke's is something. I don't know what it is. Luke, where are you? Oh, in Columbia. So yeah, hope you had a good time. And here's to you. So help me God. Did you ever listen to DC Talk back in the day?
No.
No?
I know the name.
What? Get the fuck out of here. You never listened to DC Talk.
Never listened to DC
Oh
Talk.
my God, I cannot. Why do I not believe that? You did? That's funny. DC Talk.
I hope I don't fall in love. I loved, like, of course, in like high school, I loved any art class. Mm-hmm. And that's about the last time I think I actually painted. So I hope I don't. I kind of do want to fall in love with it. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's obviously a healthy activity or hobby to have.
Takes up some time though.
Yeah.
You know?
And I shouldn't find things to spend money on.
Oh, well, yeah, it is expensive, dude. It is expensive, yeah. That is true. So, Mike, you're from Ohio, right?
I grew up in Ohio, yeah. Born Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Which I like to bring up off the bat always.
Cool. It's better in Ohio.
It is better in
fucking
Ohio.
honest about
Sorry,
it.
Ohio, but
Ohio sucks, dude.
Ohio does suck. A lot of friends. My sister's still in Ohio. She moved back to Ohio, but
Where?
Columbus.
Oh, okay. Dude, Columbus is pretty cool.
It's
I gotta say.
yeah. It's where you want to. There's some cool stuff in Cincy-ish.
Like what? Because I haven't found a damn thing in
It's
Cincinnati
called
that's
like
cool.
it's called Over the Rhine.
Like the band?
No, it's like a
okay.
neighborhood.
Oh, okay, cool. Maybe that's where they got their name.
I live in Milwaukee these days.
What?
Which
You
is-
live in Milwaukee. Why
do.
Milwaukee?
Well, I lived in Chicago for 8 or 9 years.
Fair enough, yeah.
And I love Chicago deeply.
Yeah, totally.
So leaving it, I didn't want to go far, and I didn't. Same was my old lady.
Got it.
She was in Chicago just as long, and she didn't want to be too far from it as well. So we bought a little house in
Cool.
Milwaukee. How long have you been in Nashville?
Man, almost 20 years, dude.
Oh, okay.
Almost 20 years
So
from Michigan.
you're no fucking poser.
Nah. In some ways, maybe, but that, no. But, yeah, man. So you're enjoying Milwaukee.
I do. I've loved it. This month is my 2-year, so it hasn't been super long, but.
Any other places that you consider living? That like from Milwaukee? Would you ever move out of there into another place?
I love Pittsburgh. I
Okay.
love being back in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
but I romanticize it a lot in my head.
Dude, I know what
Yep.
you mean.
Yep.
Even the shittiest times were better than now. What
Yep,
is
yep,
that?
yep.
Oh my
It's-
God. That's deceptive.
It is. Well, nostalgia is.
It'll get you.
We're living in those times.
Yep. I don't know what is going on here, but I'm kind of into the Burger King colors.
I love it.
Thanks, dude. What do you got going? Oh, dude, this dude is putting pieces down. Dude, you know what's really cool?
I used to just draw shapes like this on like notebooks in high school, so I figured, you guys invited me and I would start there.
Yeah.
If you guys invited me, I don't know. I got an email and I'm
No,
like, oh,
we
that's
did
a
not.
good idea.
We did not. Which is beautiful. And actually, I was afraid to say that we did not. But you know what? That might have been an insecurity of mine. So that's really cool that we blasted through that.
So you heard from us?
Yeah.
Oh, see, someone emailed me and they're like, hey, there's this cool thing. Here's Josh and Julia. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm down to do that. And then I followed up about it. Yeah. And then it was like, oh, if you want. So I'm sorry. I just like invited.
No, it's cool.
I invited myself to the party
it's
unknowingly.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Like it made. Listen, dude. We have been trying to do this show, and we've been reaching out to everybody. We've gotten some cool people, and this was the first time that someone reached out to us, dude.
Really?
And Luke and I were just like, this is incredible. Like, dude, it's just a blessing. So seriously, it's a big deal for us, man.
And that's a shame, because like,
yeah, well, hopefully
it's either this or me explaining my record to someone.
God. Let's do that right now.
Dude.
I was listening to it last night, and I was thinking, okay, what am I going to ask Mike when he gets here? And the first thing, look, the pre that's in that, the pre-question was, dude, what's this record about? So it's cool that you said that. So now we can move on from that, unless you would love to talk about it. What do you think?
No, I like to write. I've always liked to write, and that's always been sort of a thing for me beyond music. Like I never had aspirations to be in music.
Yeah. So when you say write, what do you mean write?
Like creative, but I've also I've spent time like writing pieces for like only a few, but like for websites, like interviewing friends' bands.
Yeah.
So I have this very real tick that occurs as far as when people interview me, and obviously, it's 2-3 times a day when you put out a new record. That's the game.
For sure. Oh God. Yeah.
And when I have to do the whole process for you,
I
get very, very angry.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm also a frequent angry person.
How does that anger come out for you?
I suck a lot of it in because I'm also terribly non-confrontational. But anymore, I can be pretty upfront with a journalist as far as like I can just be short.
Cool.
Like I'm tired of fucking
the same old. Or what? Tell us.
I got
tell us a little
the
bit
newest
about that.
the interview yesterday or 2 days ago, which I missed sound check for.
With who?
I won't go that far.
Okay, fine. Go for it.
I missed sound check, and the first question was,
"You like burritos?" No, that would
I
be
wish.
cool. That would be cool. Yeah,
exactly, because I eat a burrito a day.
They're quick. Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
I can't remember what one of the questions was, how's this record different? And I'm like,
listen to it, asshole.
Exactly.
Seriously, man. So you named it The Act. I want to know what that is about specifically, The Act. Because I love the album cover, by the way. Who is that? What?
That is a man named Dan Seagrave who did he did 2 other record covers, so I wanted to work with him again because he's also delightful to work with professionally. And I wanted to like kind of throw back the look and make something jarring.
Yeah, I can see
even though the sound is entirely different than anything we've done.
I loved all the little on like Spotify, the little visualizer things, all that stuff.
I still look at it and like, look at that guy. Like I never noticed that, which is
so cool.
Yeah, and I'm really stoked on that. I like that there's interpretation involved.
Yeah, dude.
Rather than it just being like, hey, this is the piece, swallow it as is. And that's actually what the act, the name is too. The act is whatever you want it to be, almost.
Got it.
And it was kind of born off of I kind of wanted to call the record Actor.
Okay.
But I didn't want to play into that too much. St. Vincent has a record called Actor. Yada yada yada.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's cool.
So yeah, that's kind of where all of that, that swirling pot of aneurysm brain thing happening in my head
I know a
Yeah.
similar kind.
Yeah. And it is a depiction of hell, which is a theme that's...
It's like a cauldron, a huge hell cauldron.
Yep. I wanted the rings of hell, like Dante's, but a different take on it.
Sure. That's cool, man. What do you think about hell? Have you been in hell, like, in your life?
A friend asked me that when about the record. He writes for Revolver, and he asked me about hell when we were like kind of, talking about the themes or whatever. And he asked me like, what is your hell?
Yeah, good question.
And
I think
exactly, and it is, I think, something applicable.
Sure.
But I need like a burgundy.
Yeah, got it, dude.
Oh, we were talking about hell.
And what times in your life did you feel in the past, even nostalgic, that if you could revisit in a nostalgic way, which is usually fluffy, I was in hell. I was at a place where I was just emotionally and just mentally kind of fucked. What was that?
I went through a breakup that I was talking to the young man playing bass with us for this tour.
What's his name?
Mason.
Got it.
He's
Hey,
the
Mason.
best.
Cool, cool, very cool.
About relationships, and that definitely was really hard for me. It took a regrettable amount of time getting over it.
Oh, that's a good way to put that.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
9 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get over that. I think that was one of the, I hate the word dark, but the darker moments in my life.
Do you hate it because it sounds cliched? Is that why you hate it?
I think it's like when your English teacher says don't say good, like use a better word.
Fair, I get that. Yeah.
Dark
okay.
is, oh, your music's dark. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Be a little more descriptive.
Right.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, I use dark all the fucking time. I need to change that up. Thanks for saying something.
Yeah, calling you out.
Thank you.
No, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm reminded of that. A lot of what I was doing with the record in Hell, which didn't actually make an appearance on the record. John, again, who produced it, was like, so Christians aren't going to like this, and people that don't.
Here we are again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people that aren't Christians aren't going to like this. So who are you talking to?
Wait a minute.
But just the note, like I have a hard time with hell, and heaven and hell for me seems like the least Christian thing to talk about.
Why?
Because aspirations of heaven are the most selfish possible like expectation. So why would, as a Christian and someone that craves selflessness,
Sure. Yeah.
why are we always focused on?
Well, that's a good question.
I want to be a good person so I'm rewarded later. Like no, I want to be a good person to make someone's day better.
Sure.
Or help someone out. So that's kind of my thing with heaven and hell.
Yeah, I can see that.
And losing. While I do consider myself a Christian, a self-loathing Christian for the most part, like I also have no. I just don't get the hell and heaven thing. And I did it like as a young kid, and a youth group kid, and spending time at Rocketown. And
Yep.
Not like I lived here or something, but like gigging shows.
Yeah. I wonder if sometimes the folks that put so much emphasis on heaven in whatever capacity they can, I wonder if they're subconsciously wanting to create heaven on earth so that work will reward them in heaven. Because on earth as it is in heaven, is the prayer. So I'm curious. I definitely see what you're saying as far as the selfish nature, and man, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I'm wondering if where it gets ultra selfish is when the evangelical types that are hell bent on getting people to heaven, that part of it is more selfish than even wanting to go to heaven themselves, because you're controlling the people,
Entirely.
But because I have no problem of someone having an aspiration of the afterlife, but which I do, I don't know what that is exactly, but I think we, I don't know, that it seems pretty selfish. So I think I'm on a similar chapter that you might be on too.
Which is, it's a consideration of mine.
Yeah.
often.
Sure. Yeah. Cool.
Which is
Great.
strange because it didn't really make the record. Which is
Oh,
what
okay.
I want to talk about these things.
Yeah.
but,
That's great. That's great. And why didn't it make the record again? I guess I never caught that.
Yeah, I wrote one song vocally, the lyrics over a song, an instrumental, and I sent it to John, and he gave me the Christians won't like this, and people that are not of the faith are gonna like this either. So, who you talking to?
Did you think?
And
that,
in hindsight,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't take that poorly because
Great.
John.
Excellent.
That's another thing with this record is people that are like, this is my work, don't change it. For me, like with Prada, I'm like, you're the producer.
Got it.
You're here for a
That's
reason.
cool.
Do your job. Yeah,
Yeah, dude. That's pretty insightful.
So yeah, when John said that, it took I wasn't insulted.
Right.
But it was a little something to stomach, you know.
But that's good. That causes you to think.
I love being challenged.
Right.
Challenge
right.
me.
Luke loves almost hit you in the ball sack. Dogma?
Yeah.
That's a cool name. What tell us about the coffee. How did that start, dude?
That started because
killer.
Prada did a coffee collaboration with
knew.
someone. So we did this coffee collaboration. It went really well, and I became close with the co-owner of a roaster in Chicago called Metric Coffee, who's totally smashing it. And then he approached me one day about basically creating a brand that Metric fulfills.
Oh,
So
okay.
we worked
Very cool.
together, and Metric handles roasting and sourcing and whatnot. I hope to get more involved in sourcing when we have some income for me to fly around South America and shit. You
That
know?
would be cool.
Yeah.
Totally. That'd be totally
But that's
cool.
been about a year, over a year in the making. So.
Jerry's Artorama in East Nashville has what you need. They were affected by the tornado, just like a lot of folks in Nashville, homes and businesses. So you can visit their Instagram, Jerry's Artorama Nashville, and ask any questions that you have, how they're doing their sales and whatnot. We love them. We use that Lucas brand paint because it's bitchin'.
Dude, I like that. I like that you're making different types of shapes, sizes, and stuff. And the colors are good, man. Are you going to add anything brighter in there? What do you think?
That could be interesting. I don't
Yeah,
know.
try it out.
When I watched the other episodes, I was like, "Oh, mine's gonna be just black because I'm gother than life."
Yeah, right, dude.
But,
Right. Color's fun, man. People are afraid of color, though. I've realized.
Yeah.
I think they want something that they can ignore, and like a lot of people, well, Nashville seems to be a design town, and oh, cool.
What makes you say that?
Nashville seems to be a design town, which I have nothing against design. I mean, you need it. I mean, it's beautiful and fucking practical and difficult. But as far as like paintings are concerned, it seems like folks want something that is just passive, that doesn't contend in their home, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I'm trying to make some shit that it might contend with what they think every day when they look at it. That's what I'm trying to do. And whether that makes me not sell my paintings, whatever. But I feel like I'll have more fulfillment that way. I hope, you know. Maybe I'm wrong, motherfuckers. Maybe I'm wrong, motherfuckers.
Right.
You like 1975?
No.
Dude, I want to ask you, when you're writing your lyrics or writing, when you're writing in general, even creatively, I mean, lyrics and writing articles are a little different. Where are the places that you go in your head to achieve the output of what you're trying to say? Meaning, are there times where you get stuck on a particular subject or a particular feeling and it just consumes you to the point of where you either change what you're writing about or you suffer the feeling and get out what you're trying to get out? What is that? How does that feel for you, and does that happen?
I don't know. I definitely visit the same. I always use this. I consider like these rooms in my head.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
I definitely will frequent certain rooms.
Yep.
And kind of hit subjects a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like the same subjects come up?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I totally understand that, yeah.
A lot of it is like, I think the most, and it very much exists outside of Prada because it doesn't have a place in Prada world, but like my sort of disdain for humanity.
Yeah, got the same thing.
Yeah, so
love them though.
Yeah. So I visit that room a lot, and I had an output for it in another band I play in called God Alone.
Okay.
To where I could write sardonic lyrics or have a laugh in the songs, which there's no place for in Prada.
Sure.
Which is fine, but a thing.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why is there not a place for it there?
The songs are just so serious.
Okay, fair enough.
Sonically and instrumentally,
Got it.
I love music that can give me a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
A band a lot this year has been a band from Sweden called Viagra Boys.
Oh, that sounds right.
It's amazing, and their shtick is like taking on, like what's it called? Hostile masculinity,
give
toxic,
me a
toxic masculinity.
I love the coin.
I love this band,
That's
and
cool.
it's such a laugh, and I love that you can laugh.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, some
Totally.
people want to listen to music to dance. I want to listen to music for different reasons, and sometimes it's to laugh.
Amen.
So yeah, it's it's having a laugh, and
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do that a lot with my own work, but that's a
Sure.
room I frequent.
Can you describe the rooms? Maybe a couple different rooms, like if there were to be things in the room or people or feelings?
The way I often describe it is like,
Yeah.
I visit rooms when I write, and sometimes it's the Prada room,
Okay.
sometimes it's the God Alone room, and then the quote unquote literature room.
Okay,
Which
that's cool.
I've self-published a few books myself,
Yeah.
and the most recent one is like garbage prose, like it's Bukowski Burroughs-ish maybe. So like I visit that room very frequently, and I actually hope to publish my next book perhaps early next year. So there's that room, and I spend a lot of time in that room, and that's constantly have a notebook on me and going to a bar and
Yeah.
drinking and
So there's a personality involved in the room when you're in the different modes of expression. It seems maybe.
certainly.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's
Yeah.
like it's definitely hitting that like it's scratching the itch for that which the facet that it takes
Sure,
on. You know?
yeah,
So like
yeah.
there's certainly language, and when you're writing a Prada song, like, and there's a heavy part there, you have to create a mood to
Yeah.
work with the instrumental. You know, you don't have to. You have different obligations to abide by when you're writing in other rooms,
Yes,
if you will.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Can I ask you, if you could imagine what the rooms would look like as a picture or a feeling, or just imagine we're in one of those rooms. Like, what would be in the Prada room when you're writing? Like, say you're actively in a room in your mind. What would be around you in that room?
like physical items.
Sure, yeah, or even spiritual, even feelings or
Yeah.
anything like that. I think it's really interesting. That's why I'm asking.
I think like Prada specifically, like I definitely need to be like in certain like physical locations in my home.
Okay, which ones?
I can't write in the basement anymore.
Okay.
Which is like my space.
Okay,
So
yeah.
like it's just filled with amps,
Sure.
hockey memorabilia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my girlfriend has a room. We have our room together,
Yeah.
and then I have my basement.
Cool.
So her bedroom is her things. Basement is my things.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still the basement. I love like as much as I take on. Not to use it.
No, it's okay.
Dark voicings
Fine.
for
Yeah,
that which I like
yeah.
to creatively express myself and try to seek honesty. I need like sunlight.
Got it.
That's
Ooh,
actually
that's beautiful. Yeah.
right, and I think Prada kind of
That's archetypal too.
yeah, and I think Prada's that also because like I don't drink when I write Prada songs.
Do you drink when you write other types of
Yeah.
work? Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I love
Yeah.
beer.
Great.
My doctor says I drink too much beer.
Well,
I don't.
Perhaps he's right. Who knows? Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I think that's the Prada room.
So
it's like
what-
my dining room table.
Is it because it's more of a work, like a career? That's fair. Oh,
See,
that's
I need the,
good.
See,
Oh,
I need the. I can.
That's great.
I need the discipline.
Amen. I love that.
I'm someone that like if I the way I always say is like if I don't do it immediately, I'll never do it.
Yeah, got it.
So like I can't procrastinate. I have to do it immediately. So like having the workspaces to facilitate it is
love it.
important.
Yeah.
And like not only in my brain but like in my actual surroundings. But like as far as like the literature side of things, my garbage I write and publish, that is like oftentimes like it's just like bar a lot. Or like I don't go to bars so much anymore. At home I just sit on my couch with the dogs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like it comes there. There's a total lapse of sunlight there.
So and there's spirits around, and people have different personalities coming up when they're intoxicated. So it's interesting that the garbage writing, from what I understand of how you described it, comes out when these different sets of personalities come out in people.
Exactly.
You know,
I think I like that you're describing them as spirits because it's like
and the drinking is spirit. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And like the
yeah.
Steve Jobs no idea is yours. You're just finding it and taking it.
I
kind
like
of
that.
mentality.
Yeah. Do you not like that?
I do.
Okay. Yeah.
I do.
too.
I completely.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
I find those ideas based on that. Based on
Totally.
a sober mind
Yeah.
and chasing over something that's over an instrumental or something from scratch, and then finding something and taking it at the bar is entirely different because it's maybe the inebriated person that is letting themselves go, and I find something deplorable in that, and I want to write it down.
Fair. Do you find that same deplorable thing in someone else in yourself? Is that why you connect to it? Could you?
Yeah.
Okay. Same. Totally.
It's like the masculinity thing is
Sure.
very real. Like
Great.
I really wish I didn't have to think about sex as often as I do.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend
All
of
the
mine,
time.
a good friend of mine.
Is that a bad thing?
It is.
Okay. I
wish-
disagree. I
and,
disagree. but,
See,
yeah.
for me, it's just like a friend once referred to it as I wish I could take my dick off and put it on the shelf.
Well, that would be
Go about
helpful.
my-
Yeah,
Just go
right.
about my day
Yeah.
and like look at things as far
Sure.
as this and this rather than like your eye goes where your eye
It is
goes.
it feels like a burden. It feels like a burden.
I consider it that.
Yeah, I do too.
Especially, and I tour and I'm away.
Oh, well,
and
dude, I'm serious when I hug you. That's tough.
and it's not like I've ever.
Fine.
It's not, and I'm not one to like start. I've never had a situation where I'm like, am I about to sleep with this girl
Surely,
like
dude,
outside when I'm in a relationship or something?
Yeah.
But
I wasn't going there, but
no,
I definitely appreciate.
But at the
you
same
saying
time,
that.
like I would love to take my dick off when I go on tour,
and
not think about
detachable penis.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
like my being away for 4 weeks and.
Yeah. But do you think it adds to? Do you think it adds to your understanding of yourself and your perceptions of sex in the world, having to always wrestle with it? Do you think that's a good thing?
Certainly.
Okay,
I think
cool.
the fact that I have to grapple with it is what takes on my my analysis and my assessment of toxic masculinity.
Okay, yeah.
And why I want to fucking dog it,
Can you describe what you mean by toxic masculinity? Because I think there's a lot of different interpretations of what that is.
I think there is too, and I'm not, I'm a huge sports fan.
Got it. Okay.
So my taking on of it is oftentimes commercials.
How? I'm interested to hear that. I'm looking for the color over here. Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
Like I so frequently write about like sports bar commercials and whatnot.
Okay.
Or even like outside of I'm a real Grinch about the holidays. I don't like an excuse to get together. I think people should just get together.
Yeah, same
whether
here,
it's
man.
Christmas or
God
not.
dang it. Yeah.
And with that,
That's like a
I
blanket.
hate. I don't like Christmas. I hate Christmas.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Which I know, and
Hang
again,
on.
I'm a Christian.
To me, that's fine. I mean, I didn't even think that shit either. Check it out, dude. I think there's something deeper in you that doesn't like Christmas other than what you just said.
Yeah.
What is
I
that?
think psychologically for
Yep.
sure.
What do you think it is?
I think it.
What's the tender spot that it hurts? Something hurts about Christmas. What is that?
I kind of always felt the same way about my birthday, and I think it's just that you expect like the greatest day of your life.
Yeah.
But it's just another day.
Another day,
And when
yeah.
it isn't the greatest day of your life, like
You're
I
like
just,
on the fucking floor.
Yeah,
dude, I
exactly.
get
So
it.
like,
Yeah.
I like to
Yeah.
abandon expectation when
Sure.
I can.
Yeah.
And I think that holidays certainly create that,
Oh,
and Christmas
totally.
creates that.
Yeah, that's true. And what love looks like, you know,
Precisely.
and that's tough. That's scary. Well, that's cool, man. I thank you for going there with that question. That shows a lot of wherewithal in you, to me anyway. But
No, I think it's
Totally.
it's certainly intriguing to explore.
yeah.
But
And
that's like
yeah.
the toxic, like the consumerism,
Yeah.
the masculinity, like that's the
Yeah.
stuff that gets my brain
gets you.
kicking as far as what I write outside of Prada.
Sure, yeah. Is there a part of you that somewhere deep down wants to engage in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think sometimes.
Okay.
I think sometimes.
Sure.
Like I love sports.
Yep.
I'm an avid hockey player. At
Oh,
home
no
and whatnot.
shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
yeah.
way
So
cool. Yeah.
a part of me has a lot of fucking locker room happening in my
Yeah.
brain. You know.
Oh, that is boss.
I love strike through.
That just happened. What were you talking about when you made that first thing? What was going on when we were talking? Do you remember? I wasn't paying attention. Do you remember?
It might be.
Well, we've just
The toxic masculine.
did
Okay. And then we talked about Christmas and the tender spot, and then you made the stripe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Go ahead. That's so interesting to me. I love it. Keep going, dude. You're fucking killing it. I'm serious. This is so interesting to me. I'm so engaged. Go ahead. What the fuck are we talking about?
So I don't know. Like when you want to envy the fucking 6'4" guy with the blonde model.
Or 10 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Seriously, yeah.
I think I don't know. I wouldn't.
I would feel uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah, I don't take on notions of envy to be that person.
Sure, yeah.
But at the same time, like.
Could be the
I think
attention.
you'd be remiss not to consider it.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
yeah.
considering
I agree.
anything is.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should be able to think everything in here. You know? Yeah.
So I think that as far as what you asked, as far as like, you didn't ask if I envy it, but
I said, is there a part of you that wants to engage in it?
engage in it. Right.
Because you write against it is what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just curious about that. Because I feel that way about when I'm really strong about something, there's a shadow piece of me that wants to understand that thing that I don't like in myself more. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I was just curious about that. That's cool, man. God, this is great. I when we started, I was like, what are we gonna talk about? But boom, dude, I love it, man. It makes me happy.
Here's the deal. We wear Lem shoes, and we freaking love Lem shoes. Do you hear what I'm talking about? They're in Colorado, and if you haven't used Lem's shoes yet, worn them, slept in them, taken baths in them, walked on a trail, done a hell of a hike with them, you should. So go to their website and, or just type in Google Lem shoes, you know, and pick you out some because they're really comfortable. And yeah, look at that fan. Look at that drywall. Look at them easels. Look at that paint. Look at them stairs. Look at that drywall. Look at that Casper mattress. This is not an advertisement for Casper mattresses.
That's cool. Try to jump you on stage.
Well, yeah. So I say fuck Trump at the end of our shows frequently, and I know that.
That's like saying dark to me. I mean, fuck that guy. Yeah, for sure. But I've just heard the fuck Trump constantly. It's like, let's get some other language in there that is just as
Yeah,
powerful.
and the thing, and
You
I
know?
would love to start a whole conversation and talk
Sure,
to every
yeah.
person one-on-one. But
Oh, that's a
quick-
good point.
A quick
That's a good point.
fuck Trump as far as like, I feel that one would be remiss. I know
Yeah.
you're coming to the show for freedom and to get away from your everyday bullshit and everyday politics.
But that's their expectation.
That is their expectation, and I want to honor it. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, I just feel far too remiss
Yeah.
to not use my microphone and my soapbox because I really do honestly believe he's that much of a monster.
He does suck, man.
So that's where I'm at. But yeah, I said it last night, and
Where were you?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Somebody got their butt hurt.
Yeah.
Sure. I love
And I
getting-
guess some guy jumped the barricade and was coming. I didn't see him, but
God.
Kyle told me afterwards, and Kyle seemed like pissed off at me. And we're like, believe me, all of my band entirely agrees, fuck Trump. It's not
Yeah.
like just me.
Sure.
And he's like, this dude was like 300 pounds. He would have fucking killed you. And he seemed like mad at me as I'm telling this. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it'd been really funny if he actually knocked me out.
Oh.
Or like got up there or something.
Right,
and like,
right.
Like,
Went to town on that.
yeah,
egg.
well, what would have happened? Like, that would have been really funny. He's like, he would have fucking killed you. And I don't know why Kyle like seemed to be mad, or if I'm just.
Do we need to
totally
have him on the
misreading
show
it.
to talk about it?
Maybe
That's
just
awesome, dude.
see a therapist together.
right, right.
So I don't know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I brought that up. But I thought it
it's
was
okay.
pretty funny.
I can't imagine. Just put yourself in the mindset of liking Trump that much that you would.
Yeah.
I just like.
It's like a religion at this
That's
time.
pretty. That's.
I saw
scary.
the Doolittle from the Washington Nationals.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, just won the World Series, and he was the first person to come out and say, "I won't be visiting the White House,"
Wow.
which I love also as a white guy.
Good.
Being
Good for him.
a white guy to say that.
Sure.
And all he said was, I wouldn't want to go to his office to a person that speaks that way.
Huh.
And on your note, as far as actually believing it far enough to say like someone that believes enough to like want to physically harm me because
Sure.
he believes it so much, it is hard for me to be like, you love that guy that much when
Yeah.
like when it comes down to like the brass tacks.
He probably
like,
doesn't give a shit about you.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably doesn't
Yeah,
give a
yeah,
shit.
good
Like,
point. Yeah.
so like.
Yeah.
I think it is interesting, and even if you do want the tax breaks, and like even if you're voting because of you're not a person that votes on social welfare as I am, how can you still like the guy enough when he really is just so blazingly a liar, so
He
blazingly an adulterer, So I'm certainly with you on that.
You know, well, allow me to say that I don't share a lot of those opinions, but I don't share all of the opinions because I don't pay enough attention to him. I'm serious. Like I understand what I hear from him. Honestly, he's really entertaining to listen to because I can't believe some of the shit that comes out of his mouth. And also, the purity of his narcissism reaches to a point in me that makes me aware of my own narcissism. Am I equating myself to that? I guess for all intents and purposes, some. But I want to be more aware of the narcissism that resides in me that I see in him equally, like the Joker. Did you see the Joker
Not
yet?
yet.
It's worth it. Like
I definitely plan on it.
it's beautiful. You saw it, Luke, right? Like, I saw parts of my beliefs and the way I behave, my aspirations, my fears, in how he grew up, and it was blowing my mind. I'm like, oh my God! And and I think some people don't like that or like listening to Trump because it reaches so far inside of them that it's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like that I could actually liken myself to these characters in some really idiosyncratic way. It's terrifying, and it should be. But hopefully we can be aware of that and try to recognize that in ourselves if it's there, and see if there's another side to that can brighten it up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just my thought about that. But I don't like him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to hang out with. No, I would hang out with him.
See, actually,
I
that
would
was a locker
really
room
enjoy
thing. Like,
that. Yeah. Think of that.
It would
Think
be.
of that
It would
shit.
be interesting,
Right.
but like at the same time, only from like a laboratory practice. You know? It's not like getting with them
That's
and
a good way to
like,
put
'cause I
that, yeah.
want to talk
Yeah.
about these things
Right,
or hockey
right.
or something.
I wanna
you know,
just
than have a
observe,
beer.
watch
Yeah,
him
exactly.
manifest,
It's more
you
of an
know?
observation
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than having a beer with
Right.
the guy.
But what if it was paired with having a beer with the guy?
I mean, it would help. I think beer helps any social situation for
Fair,
me.
yeah.
So like,
That's cool, dude. Yeah, yeah.
I would want alcohol. too.
But would you hang out with Trump? Would you hang out with him?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Would you, Luke? Just to see. Sure. Yeah, I would
I think
too.
anyone, yeah,
Yeah.
like,
I bet there's people that absolutely would not hang out with that guy.
I think so too.
Sure.
People that, I think again, and someone that votes on social issues,
Yep.
the people that, the minorities that he is boldly affecting their lives with his policies, I think some of those people would be too disgusted to actually see the guy face to face. But that's an assumption.
I think
Or
it's
a
a fair
projection,
assumption.
perhaps.
I think it's a fair. I think it's fair. What if, man? I wonder. Well, I think maybe Trump is so disconnected from humanity that anybody who's in the room, I'm the king. You know what I'm saying? So bring them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's terrifying. That's tyrannical.
See, and like
Jesus.
it is, and then also I think, as far as me taking the time to express my disgrace with him, I think it's important because while we can laugh and say it is like the guy's crazy, the guy's
is, yeah.
you know, like it's still just there are things happening that
Are-
I think that it's one of the like being on the right side of history things.
I see.
That cliche.
I see. Sure. So, what did you vote for Hillary?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Got it.
Happily.
Cool. The way I saw that playing out was you could, and I heard this, and I really, it resonated with me. You could have voted for a scripted set of lies or an unscripted set of lies. And when I heard somebody say that, and I'm like, ding, ding, ding. But
Yeah.
what do you do anyway? You know?
Yeah.
What do you do with that? I don't know. I'm making some damn really thin ham hock legs. You know? I don't know what these deals are. What is this about? I don't like.
I
this.
like leaving this here.
What? Okay. Cool. That's cool.
Which also just makes me think of Josh and my love of Josh and how, like, it is so Josh for him to start his painting saying, "Who am I to say?" Because Josh always says, "Who am I to say? Who am I to say that this isn't done?" And I was like, "Of course, that's how Josh started it."
Yeah, dude.
And
yeah.
I love that about him.
Totally,
but
man.
I just thought of that.
Just like when I had the painting, it was vertical, and he turned it.
Oh,
I
of
was
course.
Like, you fucker. Like, I did appreciate that. I did.
That's
He wants to flip the script, and I
Oh, yeah.
definitely appreciate it. He did, however, start on the edge to dip in a little bit. He was like, yeah, Luke, that's tight as hell, dude. Oh, that's good.
I was like, I thought I was falling.
What do we do about this? There you go. But he
Am I
took
in
the
the way?
Sharp. No, you're good. He took the Sharpie and he was like kind of just checking it out so he wouldn't like. It's nerve wracking sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But I definitely had. That was one of the most fun things that we've done on this show.
Gosh.
But I like how I can see the black behind there. But
Yeah, I
can't
kind of
see
wanted
the blue.
to
Yeah.
it to be thicker, but I like the texture on the right side.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, like where? Show me.
Oh, just how it.
Oh, it
Deteriorates.
fans out.
Yeah.
Like feathers out. Very cool. What do you think this is? I know you're drawing the shapes, but what does this hit in your mind? What do you got?
I don't know. I just always like I had the back of a notebook when I was in high school, and I
Yeah.
just made these little shapes, kind of like this. And I don't know. It's like deeply relieving for me.
Cool. Like hypnotic, kind of like you can zone out and just paint it.
Yeah.
Cool. What?
I like sometimes I like doing. I've had jobs in order fulfillment, and I had like
Okay.
a T-shirt brand as a kid and whatnot.
You did?
Yeah, just
Cool.
bright colors. It was
Great.
a different time in my life.
Got
but
it. Got it.
I love like monotonous tasks, like putting together packaging.
What about washing dishes? You ever-
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Huh.
I'm very obsessive.
Like how else are you obsessive? Do you think?
Like keeping clean and keeping things in their places.
Sure. Yeah. Is your
Uh,
house
so,
pretty
like-
set up?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Is your car clean?
Yeah.
Copy. Dude, right here. My shit's a mess, brother. I don't know
and
why.
my girlfriend is very different. So like since we've moved in together, there's some
Oh, always.
figuring,
for
figuring
sure.
each other
Yeah.
out. But
Oh man, that's a good
I
Branston.
don't know why it's something like it's cathartic in a way. I think, and it's just getting rid of something. I think
Yeah.
in the
What-
shapes.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind of you're getting rid of? Like, what's the first thing that hits you?
I don't know. It almost feels like passing time.
Can we flip it around? See what we get?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you think about that? And some of them may not be any different, might not do anything. I'm trying to think about
No,
that.
I think it.
This has more dimension this way to me. I definitely focus in on the red, and this is like, these are leaves in the background to me, or some kind of particles, but this is, it reminds me of this mailbox that I had smashed, and I have in my studio. I poured a bunch of red enamel on it, and that's what this reminds me of for some reason. But what do you think?
Like, it instantly made me dizzy.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Because usually, like when I make these shapes, or if I'm just dilly-dallying or whatever, I always draw them a certain way, and I try to make them different, like as I went about this. But I would never draw like the way it is this way. Like the shapes seem so familiar, and now this way, I'm like, oh, I would never angle it that way.
Cool, dude.
So
but you
like
see it like that.
thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Let's try one more. We're gonna flip mine around too. What you got there? What does that do for you? Ooh, it looks a little. Go ahead. God, I want to talk about it. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, it now the shapes feel familiar again. But I was worried as I made it that this would look like a crown.
I mean, it kind of
does.
does.
And now that it is up, I definitely don't like it being like have it, like any sort of implication of like
of it being anything,
kingdom or something like that. You know.
Sure. It's also got Illuminati, bro. Boom, Luke. Let's try one more. What I was going to say, these shapes are now more active to me than they were in the other views of it. Like they're more disgruntled to me a little bit. So then we go this way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that gray messes me up on the left side for some reason. This way makes me a little dizzy. I don't know why. Go ahead.
I think I kind of liked it after the first rotation also because the way that the strokes fan out on the two strike throughs. To fan out going up is so different than fanning out going down.
Yeah,
I feel like fanning out going down is a little more expected or anticipated.
I can see that. I see a landscape more. I see this as like a floor here, and then like it's almost like the floor here, and then this goes up. Like so it adds a little different perspective because I want to see these things as like trees or posts or the mailbox there. Let's see. Back to the. Does that feel good? Cool. Yeah, totally, man. Let's flip my shit around. Okay. And I was worried in the beginning because this is really phallic. I mean, the whole thing is kind of phallic, but this is really phallic to me. And when I fucking flipped it in the beginning, I was like, I either have two droopy boobs or two weird wieners or two thumbs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I have my knees hurt a lot and my legs hurt a lot. And on the last episode, I painted some things that were like legs too. So I'm curious if I'm focused somewhere in my head on the pain of my legs and how I feel like they're just frail sometimes. I don't quite know. I don't know if these are like casts or.
I get a gateway type thing.
Cool.
Like
okay, keep going. Keep going. Yeah. What else you got? That's cool. That's very cool.
I like. As you were finishing, I was kind of losing some of the things I liked as I was like looking over at you. But I think what it kind of created by you finishing it further is we see less of the middle blue leg, if you would call it that. Yeah. And I like that there's something, if we're like looking at something leggy or like if there's something with pain in knees, that there's a forefront and a dimension as far as like we look more at these two rather than the center.
Great.
But
that's huge. No, that's really great. That helps me.
I also just like, I love that like watching you do this is so cool because like as you were going, I'm like, I would stop it there. I stopped because I was like so afraid. I'm like, I love it. And I kind of take that to my writing a lot of the time too, where I feel like you over mold something too much.
For sure.
I'm like, I hate it.
Yep.
I'm terrified of it. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. And sometimes I think I'm just lazy. I don't know. I think on a deeper level, something I've always had is always leave the room or leave the audience wanting more rather than giving them too much.
Yeah, totally cool. Yeah.
So I think that might be at like the heart of my always under finishing things.
Great.
rather than like over finishing them. Like it's kind of, and I at the same time,
I appreciate that too.
It's also like, but are you fulfilling them?
Is it your job to fulfill them? You know?
It depends which room
I'm
in.
God, that was beautiful, dude. Dude, hey, on that note, this has been Make It Perfect. This is my friend Mike. He plays in the Devil Wears Prada. And dude, it was a pleasure to talk to you,
I have
man.
had a blast.
Good. One more, dude.
Next time we'll just
Very
sit
cool.
around and talk on the phone. You can ask
I
me
would
about
love
the
that.
record, and I will passively,
that's good.
aggressively not answer your questions.
I love that, man. Again, we're thankful that you are watching our videos, and if you want to email us, it's makeitperfectshow@gmail.com. The Instagram is at makeitperfectshow, and
Be sure to check out the Devil Wears Prada on Instagram at TVWP Band. And be sure to stream their newest album, The Act, on your favorite streaming platform.
it's been a sheer pleasure. Thank you. Oh, this dude is signing it. Real deal, Camille.
So
Boom, dude. Love it.
I feel, on the note of narcissism, like I feel.
Oh, we didn't catch that. Damn. Yeah.
Not like on ego.
Yeah.
I would love it if you sold this.
That's what we're going to try to do.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going to try to do that.